I'm injecting the same prompt into the following models: GPT 5.5, Codex 3.1, GLM 5.2, Minimax M3, Qwen 3.7 Max, DeepSeek V4 Pro, and DeepSeek V4 Flash. There will be no additional prompting. It's one-shot win or fail. Obviously there will be issues, but that's how it goes. If it's design, it's forgivable. If it's coding issues, it's not forgivable. The main goal is that we can keep an eye on costs, cache hit rate, turns, thinking times, and response times, all via my plugin for the pi-CLI tool. The prompt is just to build a portfolio website, follow instructions to a strict folder structure, class-based app.mjs, fonts from Google and GSAP and 3JS usage, and with a nav that can scroll to other sections, just a classic web page basically. Something to note, caching will be low at first as it's starting from nothing, just an empty folder. Once this run has completed, I will generate my plugin's cost report and we shall see what's what. But note, my plugin is designed to record data for long periods of time and usage. The more data it has, the more accurate costs will be, and the more detailed reports we'll get. Here is Qwen 3.7. The result, I think, is most impressive of them all. I would have liked to have had a web form for the contact section, but nothing a single prompt wouldn't fix. Here is Minimax M3. This one I like also, but it does need a lot of work. But it's creative, looks good, and with a bit of extra prompting it would be perfect. Here's GPT 5.5. It looks okay, but really the only part I like about it is the clean programming of the app.js file. The rest is static images with a lot of CSS work. Not to mention, it took a very long time and was quite costly. Here is GLM 5.2. I like the home logo, and it was really good at creating vector graphics SVG files. It is less creative than the others, and no 3JS was used at all. However, its code was clean, it generated graphical files, didn't cost anywhere as near as much as GPT or Claude, but is one of the more expensive ones, which is a shame. GLM models, I find, are really good at documentation. The leaderboard says this competes with GPT 5.5, y'all. It might in some areas, but I'm not that impressed. At least it was faster than GPT and Codex. Here is Codex. It almost gave the same result as GPT 5.5, just at a cheaper cost. There were some issues with scroll animations being out of the screen and text being squashed, cut off, and not filling containers. I expected better. Here's DeepSeek version 4 Pro. I was very surprised that this was the only one that didn't one-shot this prompt, as I use it the most often. It's by far the cheapest to use and the fastest to respond. However, it does like to go ahead and do things when you ask it for ideas about something. Instead of discussing it with you, if you suggest something to discuss with it, there's a very high chance it will act on it. Here's DeepSeek version 4 Flash. Now this model, I did not expect to one-shot this prompt at all, but it did, and I liked what it gave me. It used Three.js, it reacted to mouse movement, good classic layout, good use of colors, and a decent Contact Us web form. It's very fast, it's the cheapest of them all, and it done a good job. This model, however, can have issues if you try to use it for formatting prompts, wording, etc., and constant output responses. For example, if you want a JSON response and you have instructed it to give you one or the other, it will often ignore your instructions and reply in the way it wants to. This is me seeing if DeepSeek version 4 Flash could work out what was wrong with DeepSeek version 4 Pro's generation, without any hints or error messages. A bit unfair, I know, but these models should be intelligent enough for this by now. As expected, it failed. This is me now giving DeepSeek version 4 Pro the console log error message and prompting it to fix it. I had little doubt it would fail. In the end, it worked and was not that creative. I wasn't that impressed in comparison with the others. It felt more GPT and WordPress, something I could cook up in 30 minutes myself. It did, however, use some Three.js, which was tied into mouse movement, but it was a poor effect. Now to test my Pi plugin's usage report. There are some issues. It needs a bit of tidying and some math needs an overhaul, but it's not bad for an alpha version. Here's the data from the 1 to 2 hours of executing those prompts, which gave enough data for the usage report to generate. Some of the numbers in the end summary on costs are insane, and I didn't even try Claude.